make a statement about this particular issue?
Yeah, well, I think firstly, we kind of expected it. The Men's World Cup, the Women's World Cup. Being honest, I kind of expected it. I didn't expect them to change it. But look, I think obviously we would love to wear it. Like most of the teams in the whole world, everyone has voiced that they would love to wear it. But I think you saw with the Men's World Cup, Harry Kane, for example, first game, if he had worn it, yellow card, he got a yellow card in the game, he would have been sent off. So for me, it's not worth the risk of putting the team at risk, putting the tournament at risk, putting everything at risk. And there will be multiple opportunities where we get to use our voice like we did in that game. And there'll be multiple opportunities where I get to use my voice for things. But it obviously is we would have liked to have worn it, but I'm not going to put this team at risk. I'm not going to put the tournament at risk. And yeah, we have to abide by the rules that we're given, really.
Tell us your thoughts on your selection.
Yeah, I'm very honoured. Anytime you go to a World Cup, whether it's your first or your third or your fourth, it's an amazing feeling. Something you can never, ever take for granted, and I never will. But to do it on home soil is, I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for not many people. So I'm very, very honoured. And yeah, every time I talk about it, I get kind of emotional because I'm like, I can't believe in, 20 days' time or whatever it is that we're going to be hosting a Women's World Cup. When I started playing for the Matildas, I could have never dreamt of this. So I'm very honoured, I'm very excited, and just want to get started. Yeah, I think honestly it sounds cliche, but just staying in the moment. I think there's been multiple times in games, previous World Cups, where I've looked back on myself or the team and I've thought, oh, we probably got a bit carried away there, or we probably, did too much or didn't do enough. So I think that's kind of what the last few weeks have been about, just staying in the moment, training and getting everything we need without the outside noise. And then while we're in the tournament, just enjoying it, like embracing, this is the biggest stage for us and it's on home soil, but staying in this little bubble that we have and just staying in the moment. I think you saw that, we didn't have the best results a year ago, and then from, gaining confidence and doing what we do, we've got some really good results. And I think, like Tony said, the England game was a really good, factor for us, winning with maybe 4 or 5 key players out. Not the favourites, but that's what we kind of thrive off. And I think Aussies love the challenge. So for me, it's just about staying in the moment and enjoying it, honestly. I think the biggest regret for me out of the last few World Cups I've been to is, getting caught up in things, getting caught up in bad pass, bad touch. Football's such a up and down game that it's just staying in the moment. And I think at the Olympics we really did that well and we just fell short. So hopefully we can do a little bit better this time.
Team at home.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be pressure in sport. I think whenever there's a big game, a big moment, if pressure's not there, it probably means it's not that big of a game, to be honest. So I think pressure is a privilege, and I love pressure. I find it, I love being in a moment where, 1 or 2 moments can change the path of, your career, really. And I think this World Cup is one of those moments. So I think it's exciting, but I think, everyone deals with pressure differently, and we have some new kids in the team. So kind of going back to what I said before, it's just about living in the moment. It's not all going to be roses and butterflies during this World Cup. There's going to be tough times, and it's how we stick together, stick to our principles, stick to what we believe in, and I think we'll come out on the other side. But I think as far as where does this rank in my career, I think it's right up there, to be honest. I think it's so much bigger than just this World Cup. Like, I've been playing for the Matildas for nearly half my life, well, more than half my life now. So it's so much bigger than just the last 4 years. People that have been working with the Matildas or the W League, or the A League now, sorry. It's so much bigger than just these 4 years. So it's going to be an amazing moment and rank right up there at the top of my accolades.
Quick thoughts on the squad you have selected.
Well, first of all, I'm on. Just take a moment to say thank you for everyone that's here. I can't believe the World Cup is this close. I had a countdown meeting with the staff when I started this job, and on that slide it said 1,000 days. as a countdown, and now it's almost here. It feels a bit unreal. I'm very excited. And talk about being excited, to announce these 23 players has been a very, very exciting but also challenging decision-making process for me and my staff. I think Thursday night last week was one of the toughest days in my coaching career in terms of making decisions, because we have multiple options. And as we're celebrating the ones selected, I also want to give a little bit of acknowledgement to the ones not selected. It was tough. You're still with us. They are preparing in the background in case something happens, and they'll always be part of the Matilda family. These 23 players represent the Matilda family in a very, very unique way. I've said from day one that it takes 23 and 23, but it actually takes much more than that. So I also want to take the opportunity today to reach out and thank all the 224 Matildas that have represented this journey and wear this jersey, because they're all part of that. So when we step out on that field in that opening game against Ireland, the 23 players that are on the game roster is represented by 224 players. Every single tackle, every goal celebration, every potential adversity we face out there, we're going to be a team of 224 players. And the other thing I want to say is we're not just going to be 224 players. We're going to be a football nation that unites around this team, and these 23 players represent so much more than just the players. Everything from the FA work to get the World Cup on home soil, all the millions of fans that have followed this team for such a long time, and now get an amazing opportunity to celebrate these amazing moments that we're going to have in the World Cup. And I think these 23 players represent that in a very, very good way.
Across you, what can she bring to the squad?
I start to summarize a little bit the process. I think is a great question. The 2.5 years investment in the roster, we wanted to make sure that we build some depth in positions that this team have struggled with in the past, especially in major tournaments when players have been maybe forced to be moved around in different positions, whether it's Steph as a centre back or KK as a left back, and these things that you all been actually educating me with when I started the job. And if you look at the roster now, we have 8 backs, meaning we have 2 backs in each position, left back, right back, and 4 centre backs, natural ones, so we have better depth there. We have 8 midfielders, 2 in each spots, whether it's wide to the left, wide to the right, or central, and we have 4 forwards. And that's where Kaya comes into that selection of that last spot as an attacking player, as a game changer. She was competing with a lot of other forwards. We all know that we are heavy on a lot of attacking talents in this country. There's a lot of attacking talent left out. Not just the one in the extended roster, but also plays outside of the extended roster. That I wish there were room for more players, to be honest, so I can turn on the bench with 10 minutes to go and say, what tool do we need right now? But that's why Kaya is selected. Her and the SSM team have done a phenomenal job to bring her where she's at right now. But she's not selected based on where she's at right now, 8 months post-op. She's selected on where we think she can be in a month from now. When we're going into those, hopefully, playoff rounds that have a game changer that is good on big games, never shies away, mentally strong, have a phenomenal connection with not just Sam, but all the attacking players. There's an understanding and a history there on the pitch that we've seen multiple times. The last time I saw it was in the Olympics, when she was behind a lot of our goal scoring. So she's based on being a game changer, and I've been very clear to Kaya and the SSM team, I don't expect her to start a game. I don't think she's going to be ready for that. But being a game changer off the bench to change a game when needed, that's why she's selected. The other thing I want to be clear on here as well, you probably already know these rules, but you can always replace a player up until 24 hours before the opening game. And if that happens, that Kaya's not ready by that time, then obviously we can do a replacement change. So that's why I've also been very clear to all the players on the extended roster, stay fit, stay informed, stay focused, because you never know what happens.
Vince.
11 is for that game.
I have a very clear idea who's competing for a starting spot, and there's actually multiple of them doing that. I think Sam can attest to that in trainings, the rotations we've done and how many players we have actually tried out last couple of weeks. But I've also tried different ways of looking at a finishing lineup with different type of game changers. And we're going to go into this tournament with players being very clear on what their role is. And I want to be very clear on that. Being a game changer, finishing a game is not less important than starting a game. And I've said that over and over and over again. And look at the Tournament of Nations when we played in February. We won almost all the games from the bench. game changers coming in and influencing the game. So right now, I don't know who's going to start and who's going to finish, but I have an idea, and we'll look at multiple options. And depending on the form on certain players come that day, that's going to influence my choice.